Let's start this one more time. I mean, I got it. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna just keep going. I don't know why I did that. This taking me right into it. I was supposed to have my intro back up. It's not back up, but it's up for some strange reason, and I really don't feel like starting all over again. So this is day two of my grow, as you can see behind me, right? Yeah, see? That's what it was. The intro, this is the intro right here. I knew it was there, I just wasn't sure where it was located at. Alright, so I'm gonna have a little intro go up real quick for y'all. Right, welcome to Smoking Jokes. You know what I'm saying? Where we crack jokes and we smoke. Well, I don't smoke as of yet. I'm about to start back up. I'm starting my grow. Right. I had some greenery the other day, but what I mean smoke by like really smoking again. So, I just wanted to get into that. So as you can see, like I said in the background here, you can see my 3 beer OG right here. You can see my pink Panama right behind me. And you see my fugue state right here. I only got 5 plants, going right now. I think I'm gonna add another 5. Not really sure yet, depending on how I feel. You know what I mean? I could throw another one in there and then I can actually start another 5 in my closet grow. Right? And I will be doing a video. Well, I'm gonna do some editing and then show the video of me, basically putting the tent up and you know um filling out the pots here with these plants, right? So for me, let me go over here real quick, right? Slide over. See that? See how that slid over like that? Right? So we can slide over, see it a little bit better, right? But let me get into some of these articles. And like I said, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to do it straight here. But when like today, I'm going to be editing, the video I did yesterday and breaking them into smaller videos, just so people won't have to be on there, watching it for a long time. In that way, I know if it's under 10 minutes, I can also upload them to with TikTok. So I'm start giving some on TikTok so I can get started with the information, the Illuminati, Freemasonry, all of that stuff, and um start uploading some of that stuff to my TikTok account. So I just started. I don't really be on it. Probably won't really be on it, but I know that the youth is on it, and the stuff that I'm talking about, believe it or not, it's more to the youth. So they cannot be used in a certain way because at least they know that there's a system out there that's playing them for a fool. If you older, if you didn't know this, or you might be in denial, you might, for whatever reason, whatever lifestyle you lived or whatever, it's not really on me, right? So, like I said, I'm really doing this for the youth. Right, that's what I'm doing it. Most of that stuff for is not, for adults. This stuff right here, the news and all of that, yeah, that's more adult wise. But when I'm talking about the Illuminati and um Freemasonry and the utilization of hypnotism and mesmerism and what does that entail with cancer and all of that stuff is really for the youth because that's who they dish it out to, you know what I mean, and make sure that they can misguide them and keep their system going, right? So let me go over here and we're gonna go into the first one. All right, mighty whitey you, I might say. That's what I be doing with these certain of these racists. situations that's happening. My thing is, yeah, it's mighty white of you. So here go a mighty white of you driver allegedly posted a video appearing to show him speeding towards black teen cyclists and using a racial slur. Right? A Mississippi man was arrested after a video circulated on social media appearing to show him recording himself driving and threatening to hit 9 black children on bicycles, saying 50 points in a racial slur as he sped towards the youngsters. Right? You can see the youngsters, on the video here. Right? White driver allegedly posted a video appearing to show him speeding towards black teen cyclists using a racial slur. Mark Hall, 49, was arrested Tuesday and charged with 9 counts of simple assault enhanced by hate crime. The Tippin County Detention Center told NBC News he was released Thursday on $45,000 bond, online records show. On Sunday, Hall allegedly posted a video of himself on Snapchat that appears to show him driving down a street towards 9 black teenagers on bicycles. Right? While the video posted to the social media platform disappears, right? Because this is Snapchat, right? So, disappears in 24 hours. Someone screen recorded it and later shared the clip on Facebook where it quickly went viral. Jimmy Brooks, the father of 2 of the 9 teenagers in the incident, confirmed the video circulating on Facebook as the one involving his children in Hall. Oh, hell, 50 points. Hall can be heard saying in the footage as he drives into the middle of a group of nearly 40 miles an hour without slowing down or waiting for the children to clear the road. Right? As he passes them, he laughs and says, stupid, followed by a racial slur. Right? The Ripley Police Department did not respond to multiple requests for comments regarding the incident. Right now, I'm going to say this is what I'm going to get into about them in a second. Right? Police Chief Scott White on Tuesday addressed the incident at Ripley regular city meeting, local news outlet Tipper News reported. Parents of the teenagers involved were outraged that they could have been ran down. Brooks said his 2 children, 15 and 16, were a part of the group of 9 friends riding their bicycles in Ripley. On Monday, one of his sons brought up the incident to his mother when the video started to gain traction online. It's messed up the rest of my day. Well, it's messed the rest of my day up. After work, I left me and my wife, went straight to the police department to file charges on this man, Brooks told NBC News on Friday. But he was told by Ripley police investigators that all parents needed to press charges together. They did just that Tuesday morning. Now, this is where I have a beef with, right? Right? See right there? Ripley police investigator that all parents needed to press charges together. No, why? Everybody might not felt to be a victim. You're telling me that this person who is still a victim, just because other people don't acknowledge that they might be a victim, I cannot be a victim unless everybody acknowledges that they were a victim? That doesn't even make sense. If 7 people get shot and 3 of them die, how can the 3 of them press charges? Right? If you punch somebody, if you punch 2 kids and one of the kids refuses to press charges, you still punched another kid. If you punch both of them, that's 2 counts because you harmed 2 people. But if only one wants to press charges, then it's only 1 count. There's no we all got to be a victim in order for this to be a victim case. What kind of nonsense is that? That police officers should be investigated along with this whole incident right here. Because as a parent, I should not need to have to involve all of the parents. Not to say I wouldn't want to, but what if they, the scary hours, I don't want to get caught up. You can't tell me I have to involve everybody in order for me to get justice for my 2 children. The city said all they could do was simple assault. That's the only crime they saw. It's true, right? But a lot of us saw that it was more than that from the video. We were not satisfied with the outcome, Brooks said. He wasn't informed by police that the charges were enhanced, with the hate crime, right? Regardless to that, like I said, you shouldn't have been telling those parents that they couldn't press charges. It ain't like, a child is missing and you got 24 hours before you can say, yeah, they are really missing. No, this happened. You got video. I don't need 9 people to say this happened to them. We have video. My children are part of those 9. That's it. What you mean, man? Like they trying to give them a hard time so they wouldn't have been able to press charges on this person, right? The man is out on bond now, walking around, not knowing if he could do it again. Who knows how he feels? He could be a ticking time bomb walking around with all this stuff going around in the world today. We never know what's on his mind, he said. Brooks said his children were shaken after the incident. They said they were kind of scared. They didn't know if there's other people out there like that or if it happens again. They didn't know how people felt about it, he said. Brooks said he is determined to see Hall brought to justice. We should all be determined to see, Hall brought to justice. I wish no harm on Hall. I just want justice served to the fullest because 9 African American children were targeted by racism by him, and they absolutely did nothing wrong, he said. They did nothing. They were just out there riding their bikes. He said no children were injured, but one child's bicycle was clipped and a tire was messed up. That's enough right there for me. Shit. That's attempt murder. Right? That's attempt murder. You was doing 40. You was making this joke. This kid's bike was clipped. That's attempt murder. Right? On all 9 of them. You have evidence of one of how close this had to be because this kid's tire was clipped, right? Even after the jarring incident, he said he saw the community come together in support of the teenagers. The Veterans of Foreign War Organization in Ripley took all 9 teenagers out for a military ride on the back of their truck to a Walmart store to buy a new bicycle for the boy whose bike was clipped. Good. More shout outs to, the Veterans of Foreign War Organization, Brooks said. Carmelo Thomas, 15, one of the boys depicted in the video, recalls seeing Hall's vehicle move towards him. That's attempt murder. I moved out of the way just in time, he told NBC affiliate right? WMC TV of Memphis, Tennessee. And then he just kept going, and I saw him laugh. Jakey and Jamara Holmes, both 16, were also part of the group and asked for prayer for Hall. Well, why are you praying for Hall, people? Right? Pray for him. Be with them. I know what he did was wrong, but forgive and forget. Jeremiah said to the news stations. Is one of them people. We could have never been friends. Me and him, we could have never had been friends. I would have, I would have disowned him right then and there. Like what? We could have died, and you over here praying for them, right? But when there's problems in the neighborhood, are you praying for them and all of that stuff? You know what I wanted to say, right? F out of here. Right? It's not clear if Hall has an attorney. He could not be reached for comment Thursday or Friday at publicly listed phone numbers for him. NBC News reached out to the Tipping County prosecuting attorney's office for comments. Right? So let's go back to my tent real quick. Gotta always go back to the tent there. You see them, right? So we're gonna go into this next article here. All right, let's come down. It says, "Do not leave a paper trail. How a group of sovereign citizens used a phony credit repair business to amass a real estate empire." Let me tell you, man, I don't mess with sovereign citizens. Not because of what they might believe in their own heads. Hey, you got that right, right? But when you give out false information for you to use the same system that you said you are not a part of, you're making these mass real estate businesses, but you're not a part of this nation. You're not you don't have to follow these laws, but for some reason you know how to break the laws and file these papers correctly for you, which is strange. This is why I have a problem with them, right? Any of these sovereign citizens, they always seem to be, practicing the same thing. Hold on, let me see here. All right. I had something on there. Anyway, so let me see a little picture right here. Take me away real quick. I don't think I hooked the camera for that. Anyway, so okay. Do not leave a paper trail. How a group of sovereign citizens used a phony credit repair business to amass a real estate empire. This is by Joe Regley, right? Getty Images, right? A group of allied scam artists, right, have been charged with running a fraudulent credit repair business and then using their clients' identities to get mortgages on millions of dollars worth of real estate in order to pocket the rental fees. That's how you know these are con artists. All of these sovereign citizens. Pay attention to them. Once you hear sovereign, you should know. I mean, I'm gonna get into the science of sovereignty, right? But for now, there's a total difference in it because you can see what these so-called sovereign citizens are really about, right? Mortgage not mortgages on millions of dollars worth of real estate, pocketing the fees. When the crew, which included a mortgage broker, a real estate agent, and a notary, were indicted early this year, several flooded the courts with non-consensual filings claiming that were sovereign citizens and that U.S. courts had no jurisdictions over them. Right? Followers of the sovereign citizen movement denied the legacy of the U.S. government and often refused to pay taxes and gum up the legal system through endless and obstructive court filings. Three of the alleged co-conspirators disappeared and went on the run for several months, but were taken into custody last week on charges related to what federal prosecutors in Texas have described as a multi-year mortgage credit repair and government loan fraud scheme. I don't know if I said that right. But anyway, Heather Ann Campos and David Lewis Betts Jr. of Texas were indicted in January and has been scheduled to turn themselves in to face charges, but then went on the lam for months, prosecutors said. Stephen Levine Crabtree of Utah was indicted later and then fled after posting bond. Messages left with attorneys from Campos and Crabtree weren't immediately returned. Best attorney said, "It's too early to jump to any conclusions in this case." The alleged ringleaders of the scheme, Stephen Testuya, Morizono, and Albert Lugene Lean, who are brothers-in-laws from California, were arrested in March after investigators said they had been found staying at a hotel under a relative's name with bags full of cash and appeared to be making preparations to leave the country. Morizono, right, is a citizen of Japan, right? And Lean has ties to Mexico. So these two people who's running this scheme, talking this sovereign stuff, right? They're not even from here. You got one from Mexico and one from Japan, right? Messages left with attorney for Morizono, right, and Lean weren't immediately returned. If convicted, all face up to 30 years in federal prison and a possible $1 million maximum fine. At the heart of the scheme was a credit repair business operating under the name KMD Credit, KMD Capital, and Jeff Funding, among others, according to court documents. The group would submit applications on behalf of clients who had bad credit, falsely stating they had been victims of identity theft. The application to the Federal Trade Commission and credit agencies would be backed with phony documents and would often be approved, giving the clients improved credit scores, prosecutors said. Nothing wrong with that, right? What's wrong with that? All right, but here go the problem. The group would then use the client's identities, sometimes without their knowledge, to apply for mortgages, credit cards, and more recently for COVID-19 relief aid. The bogus mortgages would be used to purchase houses in Texas and beyond, and the group would collect the rental income the homes generated, according to prosecutors. Not a bad hustle, until you started using, your clients' information and all of that, right? All in all, the group acquired dozens of homes worth millions of dollars, prosecutors said. Prosecutors say Morzinho insisted that all those working on this scheme use phony identities. He went by Jeff Lukian and kept a little paperwork documenting the schemes as possible. So this dude was basically the rat. He was the one who gave the other people up, right? Maurizio did not want a paper trail because those documents could get them in trouble. And a shredder was brought into the office. Prosecutors wrote in court papers quoting one of Maurizio's co-conspirators. Maurizio's right attorney said in court papers that while her client, oh, so she had initially agreed that he, well, her client, oh, okay, my fault. So the person is a male, the lawyer is a client, I mean, is a female, right? Argued that he was a sovereign citizen and that U.S. courts had no jurisdiction over him. He later renounced the philosophy and acknowledged the court's authority. Right? We need to highlight this here for you so you can see this more clearly here. All right? I'll make sure we all have an understanding here. Maurizio's attorney said in court papers that while her client had initially argued that he was a sovereign citizen and that U.S. courts has no jurisdiction over him, he later renounced the philosophy and acknowledged the court's authority. All right, so we having this understanding that it came clear to him. It came clear to him. Yes, we do have authority, bro. We have authority, right? It is not for you to tell us we don't have this authority. That's it. You psychos with this sovereign thing every time. That's how they always get screwed. I can pull up mad articles of this sovereign bull, and they getting the people caught up because they selling them lies. The sovereign is one of the woke lies. All right, so let's get into this next one here. Let me see. The Oklahoma State Board of Education voted this week to downgrade the accreditation of Tulsa Public Schools after a teacher reportedly complained that school district's training material shame white people. Y'all, let me before we get into this, right? I'll say it after. I'll say it after, right? The board voted to 4-2 to lower the status of Tulsa public schools to accredited with warning on Tuesday after the State Department of Education determined an implicit bias training for teachers in August 2021 violated House Bill 1775, the law which restricts discussion of race and sex in public schools. Is widely seen as targeting critical race theory. The state investigation began after a complaint from a former teacher who had not been publicly identified, according to the Oklahoman. Right? The board also demoted another district, Mustang Public School, near Oklahoma City, to accredited with warning after itself reported that a teacher had violated House Bill 1775 by using an excuse that made using exercise that made students uncomfortable on account of their race or sex. The denomination marked the first enforcement action under the law, which Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitz, right, signed in May 2021. The Oklahoman reported all four members who voted to downgrade the districts were appointed by Stitz, right? The law does not explicitly mention critical race theory, right? Right? An academic framework for examining the way laws and policies reputed systematic racism but prohibits teachers when it's called discriminatory principles, including that an individual, by virtue of his or her race or sex, is inherently racist, sexist, or oppressive, whether consciously or unconsciously. I don't think that's what critical race theory is about. Critical race theory is to examine a system, right? And if you are willing to play by that system, then it's just simply revealing that you are a racist, right? It's not saying because you're white or no. Here go a system. Here go the things that was done. If you agree with that, then you're a racist. That's plain and simple. So it's not unconsciously, not in my opinion, from the things that I understand about critical race theory, right? The measure came amid Republican efforts to bar teaching about systematic racism and oppression in school following the national racial reckoning of 2020, which opponents say is leading to self censorship and fear among teachers. The American Civil Liberties Union sued Oklahoma over the law in October, alleging that it violates students and teachers' First and 14th Amendment rights. I agree with that. Representative of the Tulsa and Mustang school districts did not immediately respond to requests for comments on Saturday. In, in a statement to the Oklahomian, Tulsa Public Schools denied that the training stated that people of the critical race were inherently racist, saying it would never support such a training, but the system defends the need for implicit bias training. That's it. It never is not telling white people that you are racist. It's not saying all white people participated in it. It's showing a system, whether it be the lynchings and the postcards and listen, the postcards or whatever. These are just what it is. You can the people for me, the people who don't want that to be revealed are also the people who's participating in this same, mentality. So they hide, right? So they hide behind this reality by saying, "Oh, you trying to guilt us," and no, it's you still playing that mind game, right? And now is the time for the people to say, "Listen, that mind game is not gonna work. It's not, right?" In Tulsa, we are teaching our children an accurate and at times painful, difficult, and uncomfortable history about our shared human experience. The district told the newspaper. We also teach in a beautifully derived community and need our team to work together to be prepared to do that well. Charles Bradley, the superintendent of Mustang Public Schools, said in a statement published by News 9 that he was shocked by the Broad's demotion, which he called a harsh action. HB 1775 prohibits teaching that any individuals bear responsible for actions committed in the past by other members of the same race or sex. Do you hear that right there, people? This is what this is saying, right? This is to say we don't care what you're saying. We don't hold no responsibility. But I always use the Cuba and how they wanted, their money back. That's why they went through the embargo and all of that. We can use the same thing with Haiti and this. It's the same thing. Whenever white people want their just due, oh, then we can hold on to the past and hold any and everybody responsible. But the minute you want to hold us responsible, right? Prohibits teaching that any individual bears responsibility for the actions committed in the past by other members of the same race or sex. Right? When you was teaching us Christianity, that's not what you was saying. You was saying, you hold the responsibilities of your parents, and this was how you was put in the bondage and kept in the bondage through generation after generation. But now you want that same system to be ignored when it comes down to you being called on it. It also bans any course material that would make a student feel discomfort, guilt, anguish, or any other form of psychological distress on account of his or her race or sex. Right? So what about when this was taking place, right? When you go to school and you was doing all of your, slaveries and all of those histories, right? You don't think it made, black children feel uncomfortable, right? Shamed, anguish, right? And any other psychological distress, right? And so we got all of these people in these jails and all of these things killed and all of that based on this discomforts and stuff that you put on the black people. But now, when it's time for that finger to get pointed at you, oh no, 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 we don't, we don't want to acknowledge that. No, because it'll be too harsh for the Sharons and the Karens, the Darrens and the Bobs. They would just collapse, right? So the complaint against Tulsa Public Schools stemmed from a 20-minute implicit bias training for teachers conducted by a third-party vendor last August. The administrative rule for HB 1775 extended the prohibition in the law to teachers training. Right? Tulsa training informed teachers that they must be aware of our own inherent bias as well as historical bias against minorities. The Oklahoma reported in response to the teachers filed a complaint with the state alleging that the training materially specifically shames white people for past offenses in history and state that all are implicitly racially biased by nature according to public radio. This is what they put out there. They put this narrative out there, right? Specifically shames white people. You should feel some type of shame inside yourself. You should feel that about yourself. You should go, damn, man, we did this type of thing. And how do you know you should feel shame? Because the minute it's even brought up, you, no, no, not. Yeah. That right there is the proof and the evidence of it all. An outlet identified the teachers who filed the complaint as Amy Cook, who was investigated earlier this year for allegedly proselytizing in class and briefly ran for state senate. On her campaign website, she wrote that as a Tulsa public school teacher, she has witnessed spiritually damaging programs, liberal brainwashing, and political indoctrinations being slipped into our schools. This is how America has been built, and this is how it will be destroyed. Brad Clark, a general counsel for the State Department of Education, announced at the board's June meeting that his agency investigation into the complaints found the district in violation of the law. Right? It was a close call, but we believe the spirit of that training or the design of it was contradictory to House Bill 1775, Clark said in June. They just gonna keep playing this game, right? But when they made these laws, you can't even have your locks, like y'all. I call them dreadlocks, but y'all call them locks, right? Y'all don't want your locks in the workplace and this, that, and the third. You will still be oppressed by the oppressor. At some point in time, you just got to say, "We not listening to you." I'm gonna let my kids run loose, man. This is the information. Anytime you do a report, anytime you do anything, this is what it's gonna be. That's it, right? Though Clark recommended the district to demote one level to accredited with deficiency, board members Brian Bobick, right, introduced a motion at Tuesday's meeting to downgrade it one step further to accredited with warning. That leaves and indicates the district has an issue that seriously distracted from the quality of school education programs pre per the state accreditation standards, right? Bob Beck argued that anyone who took the training is going to be biased, potentially called it egregious violation that merited warning status. Board members Estelle Hernandez agreed. According to the Tesla district of deliberately flaunting the law and arguing that the extra level of demotion was necessary to send a message. The state finding that the training violated the law was met with pushback from board members Carlicia Williams Bradley, who said implicated bias does not equate to inherent racism. That's right. Tell them again. Maybe this is why some of the content should be taught in school, because I just don't know what we have a shared understanding of definition and language here, she said by the meeting, right? To new critical race theory laws have teachers scared, confused, and self censoring, William Bradley, and State Superintendent Joy Hofmeister, who won a primary last month to be the Democrat nominee for governor, voted against downgrading board districts. Humfester said she voted no because she supported the state's agency recommendation of only demoting the District 1 level. The board's vote came less than a month after Stitz called for a special audit of the Tulsa district over its use of coronavirus relief funding and for allegedly teaching critical race theory, which which the district denies. Right? William Bradley told the Washington Post on Saturday that the decision was an obvious attack on Tulsa public schools, which she noted is a majority minority district. Right? It is appalling and terrifying that we have schools and educators who can be penalized for having conversations about true facts, history, and implicity bias that we all have bias on a difference of our lived experience, she wrote in an email. While the Tulsa complaint involved teachers training, the complaint against the Mustang District centered on a lesson for students, which was investigated initially and self-reported to the state, Clark said. The exercise, which was taught by a single teacher, asked students to answer questions about whether they had experienced or perpetrated discrimination or bullying. According, why wouldn't this be allowed? I don't understand. Like, have you ever, like, everybody will know in honesty, yeah, I might have did this, or yes, it happens to me. Like, I'm honest enough to say I might have did certain things, and I know what happened to me. The district determined that the lessons violated the law because it made students feel discomfort based on their race or sex. Right? The state recommended Mustang be demoted one level to accredited with deficiency, but board members Jennifer Moniz argued that the penal must be consistent with how to apply HB 1775 and avoid the appearance of unfairly targeting the Tulsa district. The same four members have voted to downgrade Mustang Public School 2 levels to accredited with warning. All right. I believe that's the end of that one. So we can come back here, look at my plants once again. See them right there? Look at that 3 bog right there. Look at that 3 bog right there. See that right there? That 3 bear OG, right? These I'm gonna say all three of these strains I'm waiting for. The 3 bear OG, the pink Panama, and the fuse that I can't even say in which order do I want them. I just I'm waiting for them. And I got some more that like I said, I'm debating on should I plant them, just see how it go. Like I said, this is my first grow in 5 months, so I really don't want to be, bogged down with it. All right, let's go here. Black man's job held retreat at plantation. Right, this is a mighty whitey you. This is a mighty whitey you story here. Right. A black man's job held retreat at plantation, so he arrived dressed as Django because why not? And this title was wrong because he did not go dressed as Django, right? Let's get that straight. Somebody said he should have went as Django. This idiot just put this title there. A black employee got a last laugh. I don't think he got a laugh at this. Not to me, right? Being invited to a work retreat at a plantation with a period appropriate theme. The employee who shared his experience on Reddit said that he decided to go to the party dressed as an enslaved person to reflect the time period. Right? So he didn't go as Django. Django was freed. Right? A lot of you already know I had to attend a corporate retreat this weekend that happened to take place on the Southern Plantation in Alabama. There was a period appropriate costume ball scheduled for the end of the trip, but they apparently forgot about me because lone black employee forgot about me. Their lone black employee. Hillary ensued. He wrote on Reddit, right? So here goes some of the, as you can see right here, right? You see him right there. That's not the Django suit, buddy. That's a slave, right? Listen, the way this man understood the assignment. I don't like I said, I'd be confused with these, I don't agree with none of them, right? I appreciate him. He understood the assignment because I can't understand how this is still a thing. Conference retreats, weddings, fun activities. Stop and think. Nah. And I say this knowing full well they do the same damn thing here. Shaking my head. Right? Let's see here. Here it goes. Man, Massa says is could come to the party with y'all. Is Oz. Man, Massa says Oz could come to the party with y'all. Oz just wants to dance in the big house. This man's a legend. Nah, I don't think he's a legend. I'm sorry. All right. And the commitment for me, it's the commitment for me. Nice of them to let him enjoy some of the time in the main house. See, he's thinking they riding with him, but I'm sorry. I don't feel like you riding with me. I feel that this is racist and y'all are conformist. Instead of being outraged, y'all rather laugh it off, right? But I mean, I'm gonna show you he did actually get his, but not from this part. Man, I'm confused, but I am laughing my ass off anyway. I'm more like this, man. This is probably one of the guys, I would have, been with, or the guy right here. I would have shown up as Django. See, so he did not show up as Django. That's just simply with one of Irwin Jamaica, right? That's one of the people. We got LinkedIn Swindler, right? We got Mia, we got Jankro, excuse me there. We got Dr. Regafert, right? And we got Small Craft. All right. So right. He posted a picture of his outlet, including a tan shirt and pants and a straw hat. The employee decided to ditch shoes and attend the party barefoot. Okay. In another picture, the employee was at the bottom of the staircase with one of his white co-workers who dressed in a blue ground. Twitter commended the employee for being dedicated to the outlandish theme. I appreciate him. I understand the assignment because I can't. He understood the assignment because I can't understand how this is still going on. Right, read that to y'all. Right, these are the different, pictures that I showed y'all. Committed, nice of him to let him enjoy some time in the main house, right? I would have showed up as Django, right? But not everyone was feeling the employee's outfit. Some didn't know how to feel about it. Man, I'm conflicted, right? But I am laughing my ass off anyway. I told you I'm like him. According to the employee on Reddit, someone in human resources who he described as the chick I deal with all the time came up with the party. So he knew the female who came up with this. According to the employee on Reddit, someone in human resources who he described as the chick I deal with all the time came up with the party. Right? He later updated followers on Reddit and said that the human resource employee has since been fired and he was promoted. Right? That's the benefits. That's the only benefits from putting this man through that. Right? This is where I say, he benefited from, showing the disrespect, right? With a disappropriated raise and better benefits, he said on Reddit. But I have been assured that this has nothing to do with anything that happened on the retreat. He just happens to be concluding with HR assistant director Canning. So remember, kids, correlation is caution, right? So we got that. Let me come back here, right? Like I said, you can see just checking in on my plants and everything that's good. I like to go in, look at my plants real quick, see how they holding it down. See them over there, right? Think I'm gonna move this. I think I'm gonna move this one right here. Move it over a little. See how it's over here. So since it's over here, I think I'm gonna just move it more this way. Anyway, not that it's important. All right. So let's get into the next. Or I might just make a whole new what's the name for them. Who knows? All right. I just want to see how I look. Have my tents on. My tags on them and whatnot. Anyway, let's going to this next one here. I think I got two more to go. I'll probably just do one more. Who knows? It ain't that long. These ain't that long. All right. So let's get into the next one. Here. Chair of Racial Justice Commission faces calls to step down after leak audio reveals racial slur. Now I'm gonna say this is a stupid one right here. I must say. All right. On Tuesday, KCRG reported that the recently elected chair of Iowa City's Truth and Reconciliation Commission is facing calls to resign after her appearance on a podcast in which she disparaged other local black leaders. She's black. This is not racial. This is, first of all, this is a talk that we have amongst ourselves. Right? The Iowa City Council has set a meeting for Thursday morning to remove Emil Ali from the commission, reported Adam Caruso, right? My fault. Um, the issue came up during public commitment at Tuesday's Iowa City Council meeting when Johnson's County Supervisor Roykin Porter demanded the council remove Emil Ali from the commission. According to the report, the TRC was established by Iowa City officials amid protest over the murder of George Floyd. The commission is to bear witness to the truth of racial injustice and carry out restorative justice. Porter said she received an anonymous letter containing according to of recordings of a podcast, Rock Hard Caucus, said the report. In it, Ali refers to Porter and other community leaders as coons. It's what it is. It's what it is. I'm standing by her. Right? I believe I believe what she's saying about you is highly possible. It's just highly possible, right? I don't know you. So I can't say it's true. I don't even know who the person is. But once you inside there, right, and now you trying to get her kicked out for this racial slur. I never heard white people call black people coons. So I don't know if that could that constitutes as a racial slur, right? That's a internal right conflict with the kiss asses. That's it, no more, no less. right? Derogatory comments and describes herself as getting intoxicated before meetings and driving drunk. Porter, oh, those are probably some things you might have a problem with. Porter says the comments came on multiple episodes of the podcast. Her choice to speak this way clearly demonstrates that she is not capable of leading us towards reconciliation. Porter said, demanding the city council remove Ali. I don't think she should be removed. I think she will keep you on your toes so that way you actually do something. Because at this point, you're not doing anything, right? And I mean that in the sense of if you're pandering to white people and you even complaining to white people about a black person saying coon, and then you pointing out, oh, she's drinking and that. Like, listen, you are really what she's basically claiming you to be, right? According to the reports, Ali has apologized but rebuffed calls for her to step down, saying, I cannot walk away and turn my back on the truth, hope, and responsibilities entrusted to all of us on the commission. You suggesting the leak was intended to sabotage the commission's work. Yes, right. Attendees at the meeting were split in defense and commendation of Ali. Right. This is how this is how I'm with them. Like I'm split on that. Right. I'm split on that. I don't know how should one um feel. I'm black. I don't think that that's a racial slur. And for me, I always say coon, cowards, and agents. Right. The coward gives birth to all of that. Right. So the coward, in order for you to be a coon, you had to be a coward. Right. In order for you to be an agent and go in there and set all type of conflicts and all of that amongst the people, you would still had to have been a coward, right? So that's what I stand by. That's just me, right? Check on my little plants here real quick. And I'm also doing this so I can know when to, chop and start the next, small clip. Because like I said, I'm breaking these all down into smaller clips. All right. So I believe I got one more story to go, then I'm up out of here. All right. Let's go into this. Maryland school apologizes after videos show white supremacists singing in word. No, what is supremacist? White students singing in word. A group of mostly white teenagers from an all boys private school just outside of the district was recently recorded in a viral video singing the N word while riding a DC Metro train. I thought DC get it popping. So y'all only fight each other out there in DC? Huh? But this is mighty white of them, right? This is some mighty whiteness here. And you telling me all of that stuff going on in DC and nobody was like, yo, you think it's sweet? You think something, I'm just saying. Administrators at the Landon School, where the boys are enrolled, said in a statement Tuesday they were deeply concerned by the video and were looking into the matter. Right? Jose Romero recorded the video while on the Red Line train. Thank you, Jose. Towards Glenmont on Thursday. When he boarded the car at the Metro Center station, it was packed with dozens of students, some wearing shirts and backpacks from Landon, a college preparator school in Bethesda, right? All the teenagers seemed to be facing towards a speaker in the center of the car, and they was chanting when Romero stepped in. Romero, who is Latino, couldn't make out what the students were saying until the song came on that he recognized, Freestyle, by the popular rapper Little Baby. Little Baby. Romero began recording a video with his camera angled towards the back of the students' heads as they sang three verses that contained the N word. Someone in the video seemed to call attention to the students saying the racial slur by saying, "Yo, yo," before the song stopped and the group of students laughed. In a statement, the spokesman for the school said the students' conduct and offensive words were unappropriable, unacceptable, and antithetical to our school values and our civility code. When asked about any punishment the students would face, the spokeswoman said any disciplinary measures taken would be confidential given the students' ages, meaning that they're not going to do nothing. Right? Three Maryland students charged with a hate crime for online threats targeting black students. That's another article, right? The young a young black woman near the center of the car dropped her jaws in shock and made eye contact with Romero because we couldn't believe what we were seeing or hearing, Romero said. Another video shows the group of teenagers hitting the window and top of the metro car as they yelled a profanity about Gonzaga High School. Gonzaga College High School is a private Catholic college preparatory high school in the district. The Landon soccer team was playing against Gonzaga that night. Romero posted both videos online and tagged London school media account. His post gained attention from other influencers around the DC area, including Claudia Conway, the daughter of Kellyanne Conway, advisor to former President Donald Trump, who called the behavior so disgusting in a comment. A dean from Landon contacted him the next morning with further questions about what happened in the metro car. Romero said, including whether he heard any students' nicknames that could help identify who was involved. The school's administrator had already identified two students in the video and planned to talk to them, the dean told Romero. I did make it clear to him it's impossible to tell who is saying the N word and who isn't. Romero 44 said, I think that you can't really single out one person, but the school should really take this as a teaching moment for those students. And we got another story. KKK images briefly posted to Montgomery School online review page. Since posting the video, Romero has gotten some comments from what appears to be students from the school. He said he has since restricted those comments so they don't appear publicly to protect the students from being targeted by other users online. Hey, you want to comment, you want to defend this, you get what everybody else gets. Don't fucking cover that up. London school teaches nearly 700 students between 3rd and 12th grade. The school's alumni network included Nicholas Hammond an actor best known for his role as Frederick Von Trapp in The Sound of Music. Maury Povich, oh, I didn't know that. The former host of the reality. You don't do that no more. I thought Maury Povich still come on. The Maury show. You know what I'm saying? And Rufus King, a former Chief Justice of the District of Columbia Superior Court. The student body is made up of about 41% students of color, according to its website. Wow, that's almost 50%. So they can get it in school. We can handle this eternally. We can handle this internally. You know what I'm saying? Just send a couple of the goons over and have a talk. You know, that's all you got to do. Just send the goons over, have a talk, and let them know that, listen, man, I don't care what music you listen to. I don't care what you do. If you think you playing with me and you gonna be around here, we gonna play hardball. We gonna play some real football. This ain't flag football, right? This is the gridiron here. If you want to play the game, we gonna play the game. That's all I'm saying about that. And nonetheless, thank you for joining me. Peace. We are out of here. Everybody have a blessed one.